There just aren't too many perfect families out there. Even in families where people get along reasonably well, it might not make sense to include every child in a parent's estate plan, in their will or their trust. My name is Patrick Cawley. I'm an estate planning and elder law attorney at Keystone Elder Law. I've helped a lot of families and I've seen a lot of family dynamics. Here's a common scenario. Mom and dad come into me to update their estate plan. They are in their second marriage, and they each have children from a previous marriage. Maybe at least one child was not real thrilled that mom or dad got remarried. As a result, that child is not speaking to anyone in the family, is not showing support to mom or dad, and generally is causing discord in the family. It might even be worse. We've seen cases where a child steals from a parent. In those situations, I don't blame any parent who says, I don't want that child to be mentioned in my will or trust, and in fact, I want them cut out of the will. Well, if you're going to do that, there's a couple things you need to keep in mind. Number one, you must mention that child. You don't want there to be any thought that it was an oversight. It was a mistake that you did not include the child in your will or your trust. If the child has a mind to challenge the will or the trust in court, that's going to be very expensive and the litigation will drain your estate. So you mention that child by name, and what you do is you say, for reasons good and sufficient to me, I have made no provision in my will or my trust for that child. And that's enough. The court will see that it was an intentional decision. You know, sometimes this doesn't even come up in situations that you might consider unhappy or, bad situations. It might simply be that you've divided your property in a different way. Maybe you've already made a gift to one child and you want to leave all of your property in your will to two other children, and in the end it's going to be a fair result because the value of the gift and the property through the will is the same. Or maybe you have a life insurance policy that's going to leave money to one child, and you have some investments that are going to have a beneficiary designation for another child, and then the will is going to leave some other type of property to a third child. So sometimes reaching a fair result means you're going to exclude certain members of the family from your will because you're taking care of them in some other way, through a gift, through a beneficiary designation, through a life insurance policy. So bottom line is, if you want to exclude someone from your estate plan, from your will or your trust, you need to mention them by name, and you need to show anybody looking at it that you thought about this and it was an intentional decision. And the second thing is, it really helps to have legal advice to understand how property passes to someone when you're gone, so that you know whether or not it even has to go through the will. If you have any questions about this, shoot me an email at info@keystoneelderlaw.com, and I'll make sure you're on the right path towards crafting a good plan for your family.